Mayong adlaw Dumawenyos, magandang gabi Pilipinas. Welcome po sa inyong paboritong programa. Ako si Harvey Lentikse.
Mabuhay ug madayaw. Welcome to another episode. My name is Hannah H. Peak Show, and this is Basta Dabawenyo.
Pilipinas, makakasama pa din po natin ang acting mayor ng Davao City, Mayor Baste Duterte. Mayor, magandang gabi.
Magandang gabi.
Hannah, good to see you again. No? And Mayor, we had a very interesting week last week. Maraming nangyari, Mayor. The SONA, the opening of the 20th Congress, and then may updates sa impeachment. All of this we will try to discuss in today's episode, Mayor. Let's proceed to some of the points dito nga sa nangyaring fourth SONA ng Presidente last week, Mayor, and meron siyang mga nasabing mga points no, na pinag-usapan, dinebatihan, and we would like to discuss some of these, Mayor, in today's episode. Hannah, would you like to share this? Exactly.
So, yes, Mayor, so the fourth State of the Nation address of Marcos Jr. and with this Mayor, may mga key statements siya, and he opened his speech with he highlighted the recent election. And to quote, he said, "Malinaw sa akin ang naging resulta ng halalan, bigo at dismayado ang mga tao sa pamahalaan, lalo na sa mga pangunahing serbisyo. Ang leksyon ay simple, kailangan natin mas lalong galingan, kailangan pa natin mas bilisan." Anong masasabi mo dito, Mayor?
Alam niya talaga na dismayado ang mga tao kasi sinasabi niya maka 12-0 daw siya during the campaign. Yun naman yung statement niya. 12-0 daw yung lahat daw ng bagong Pilipinas na mga senators makakapasok sa Senate. Nasaan na yung 12-0 mo? So, yun naman talaga yung clear indicator ng ano eh. Tama naman yung sinabi ni Marcos na pumalpak talaga siya.
No, marami lang nag-comment, Mayor, na medyo nag-align to sa statement mo in our last episode na this is the most inefficient government. So somehow, parang nag-agree din si Bongbong with that statement na he acknowledged it na the people were not happy and they need to improve. That's what he said.
Tagal ko na sinasabi yan. Simula pa lang ng itong nagpa-podcast tayo na masyadong focused sila on the 2028 elections. Tapos lahat ng movements ng administration are, inaano nila pinopoliticize nila lahat ng ginagawa nila to solidify their bid for the 2028 elections. Kaya yung functions ng government compromised. 'Di ba? Supposedly, tulad yan, ayuda, may DSWD naman na para mag-distribute, nilagay mo sa mga congressman, which are political individuals, di ba? So, kaya hindi nagagamit sa tamang paraan or nade-deliver ng maayos, fairly, yung mga resources ng gobyerno dahil nga to advance their political ambitions. So, ito kasi rin, it's one way, yung pera ng bayan, it's their way of buying allies. Like Martin Romualdez, di ba? So, Martin Romualdez, pagka sumunod ka sa amin and this administration, then you are given allocation ng ayuda, which is the which used to be the pork barrel. So yun naman yun eh. Kaya yung DSWD which has the data, sila naman yung nakakaalam and paano nila gawin yung trabaho nila, kung saan dapat mapupunta yung mga resources na yan. Hindi na nagagawa nila yung trabaho nila. So how can that be efficient? Tama naman, Congressman. Your only job is to, cooperate with this, itong mga agencies na to, na ito yung kailangan namin. Then you propose the budget, sige, magbigay tayo ng allocation dyan, DSWD for this region, for this district, kasi may kailangan na ganun. Pero anong nangyayari? Diretso sa congressman. Bahala na siya kung paano niya gagamitin.
And in fact, Mayor, we've seen and we've heard reports of that during the last campaign na sa distribution ng DSWD, dumarating bigla yung mga politiko at sila na ang nagbibigay sa ayuda instead of the DSWD, as you've said, which has the mandate to do this function.
Ano yan traditional politics. Kahit hindi mo naman pera yan, gagamitin mo na para sabihin na na sa akin galing to. So, magkakaroon ng utang ng loob. So, the next time around, next elections, dapat ako yung piliin nyo kasi binigyan ko kayo ng ayuda. Kasi dito naman, kunwari, sa Davao, may sunog, may baha. Ang CSWDO, lahat ng mga departments, ide-deploy yan. Kung meron man politiko diyan, they're there just to, to do an ocular visit, everything is going well, 'di ba? Yung ganun. Kung okay pa ba yung mga nangyayari, tama ba, may kulang ba? Yun lang naman 'yun. Pero yung pera na yan, nandyan na yan. It's supposed to be allocated already kasi hindi mo naman maiiwasan talaga na may mangyari. Diba? So ngayon, kung ginamit mo sa politika, binigay mo sa mga congressman, inubos mo doon so that you can acquire allies, katulad nung midterm elections, pag may nangyari talagang totoo, like yung recent baha doon sa Manila, saan mo kukunin? Pinamigay mo na lahat eh. So, the next thing that you do is maybe you would realign pera ng mga ibang department doon na naman sa ayuda. So, mawawalan ng pera yung ibang mga institutions like DepEd, yung PhilHealth, isa yan, di ba? Bakit nila kinuha yung pera sa PhilHealth at hindi natin alam talaga kung saan napunta and they're not telling the courts because they keep on moving the oral arguments kung saan nila ginamit yung pera sa PhilHealth. Which, I would speculate talaga na napunta talaga yan sa ayuda. So kaya nga, pumapalakpak talaga yung mga congressman because it serves them really well for their political preservation.
That's why satisfactory and happy sila sa report at sa performance ng kanilang leader.
Hindi naman nakinig yung mga yun. Basta every time pumalakpak yung mga congressman, pasalamat sila, si BBM talaga yung presidente ngayon. Kasi wala busog kami
Hindi talaga nakinig.
Madali lahat Basta luhod lang kami dyan, meron na kaming budget.
Tama ka, Mayor, hindi talaga nakinig. May nakita nga, nanonood pa ng sabong during the SONA. Pero di daw siya nagsasabong, huwag kayong judgmental.
Hayaan na natin yan. Ano naman yan hayaan na natin yan. Yan yung Congress. Ito nga yung klaseng gobyerno na meron tayo ngayon. Wala naman. Yung trabaho ng DSWD or DPWH, sila naman yung may technical capacity para talaga mag-identify kung saan dapat ilalagay yung mga projects or whatever. But now, since, yung congressman naman yung mga lobbyists na nakakakuha ng budget, so, I think, and I would speculate again, that they would suggest to the departments kung paano gagamitin yun. Diba? Yun yung mangyayari. Yun yung mahirap doon. Instead of na si DPWH, kailangan natin ng tulay dito, sabihin ng congressman, hindi, nakakuha na akong pera. Kailangan natin concreting dito na area. Tapos sisirain natin yan. Tapos isesemento agad natin yan. I-repair natin. Tapos sisirain natin ulit. Tapos i-repair natin ulit. So that, like we can utilize the budget, maximize it for profit. yung ano kasi, tulay, pag ginawa mo, hindi mo naman pwede sirain yun. Di ba? Yung building, pag tinayo mo yan, hindi mo naman pwede sirain yun, tapos tatayo ka ulit ng building kasi it wouldn't make sense. Pero ito kasi, makakapal talaga sa yung mukha talaga ng ano, yung gumagawa nito. I do not, ito si DPWH kasi, wala yan. Tao yan, mga tao lang yan ng presidente. Kasi under the president yung DPWH eh. So, pag yun na pag hinayaan ng presidente yung Congress on how they implement the budget, wala talaga. It will not be properly spent. Diba? Kung paano mo ginamit yung pera. Tapos ngayon, siya pa yung magagalit. Hindi ko maintindihan. Ba't siya yung galit? Dapat supposedly, na tinignan niya na maayos. Okay, may pera na tayo, pinirmahan ko na yan. Sasabihin ko ngayon sa DPWH, gamitin nyo ng maayos yung pera na yan. Ayoko na may mga concreting projects dyan, nasisirain nyo, kahit nadadaanan pa naman ng mga tao, okay pa naman, para gagawin nyo ulit, para magastos nyo lang yung pera. And, like, some other political parties are very vocal about this. Sina Magalong, especially that guy, di ba? Sinasabi niya naman yun, yung kickback, 30 to 45%. Ayan eh. Pinakamadali dyan, yung concreting talaga. Walang kwenta talaga na yung sinasayang yung pera.
Mayor, related to this discussion, Mayor, ito nga sabi niyang mahiya naman kayo. Actually, Mayor, nag-ugat din yan dun sa sinabi niya sa mga infrastructure projects, particularly itong flood control projects, na sabi niya, yung iba daw talaga inefficient, palpak, or guni-guni nga lang daw yung iba. Dahil nga may mga nakinabang na mga politiko.
Kaya nga, di ba si Bonoan yung DPWH Secretary? Parang tao mo man yan. Dapat may clear directive ka kung paano mo i-implement yung pera ng gobyerno. Sabi mo, walang corruption dyan, walang kickback. Gusto ko makakita ng maayos na implementation na talaga. Walang sobra, not overpriced, di ba? Actually, kinalaban lang ni Marcos yung sarili niya sa sinabi niya. Pero, kaya nga, nakakalito talaga. Nakakalito talaga. And, it's almost surreal. Di ba na nangyayari ba talaga ito? Na sa ginagawa ba talaga ito ng gobyerno na ito? Mahirap isipin ba? Mahirap isipin. It's in front of the nation. They're doing this in front of every Filipino.
On broad daylight, Mayor.
Yeah, yung mga congressman naman, palakpak kami because who's going to take the blame? The president. Diba? And the president is so shameless, so wala rin.
They were very proud. All very proud.
It's so confusing nga, di ba?
Diba?
Sila naman nag-allocate ng budget.
You would expect na he's talking to the congressman first. But then the congressman, standing ovation sila, masaya sila. So, sino ba dapat talaga yung receiver ng message ni President?
Kayo.
Was he talking to himself? Or was he talking to the congressman? Was he talking to the two men in his back? Sino ba talaga yung tinutukoy ni Mr. President?
Yeah, kaya ayoko lang magsabi na directly, but Magalong is talking about this. I think you should look into that guy. It's not ours. Hindi ko nang kaibigan yung mga yan. Pero you should listen to him.
He's been making this expose.
Vocal siya about dyan. Alam niya yan. Alam ng mga mayor yan at governor. Kasi yung legislatura, doon talaga galing yung pera ng yung national budget para sa mga highways, mga tulay na hindi kaya, the local government cannot spend on. Di ba? So kaya, palag talaga yan si Mayor Magalong.
Pero balik muna tayo dito, Mayor. Just a little follow-up question regarding the opening statement of Marcos Jr. Because that's how he started his speech. He started with the people are dismayed, and an efficient government, hindi maganda ang gobyerno. That's how he started his speech. And then he went on to talk about promises for the next 3 years. So it seems to me that it feels like I was listening to a first SONA actually. Kasi yung mga plano niya, sinasabi niya yung plano niya, and more on the plans and promises, less on the accomplishments.
Sasabihin niya, okay, nagawa natin yung 20 pesos na bigas. Sige, tanungin mo na lang yung mga bumibili ng bigas dyan, yung pumupunta ng palengke every day to purchase rice. May tag 20 pesos ba talaga na bigas?
Last time I checked, wala.
Selected na.
Sila, meron, nag-roll out sila, Mayor, and select locations nationwide. Co-ops, I think dinaan nila sa isang cooperative.
But it's a subsidy of the government.
Yes,
it's not the actual price. It's not an actual market price.
Correct.
Ng bigas. So, ang ginawa doon, kumuha na naman sila ng pera, bumili sila ng bigas at a lower cost or at the cost, di ba, at the market price, tapos binenta ng gobyerno
20.
ng tag 20. But it doesn't mean na yung actual market price talaga ng bigas na may 20 pesos na bigas. Tinitwist kasi nila yung
Ginagawa tayong tanga. Exactly.
In other words, ginagawa tayong tanga.
Diba? Tapos yung mga tao, araw-araw nasa palengke yan. It's a subsidized program of the government. It's not the actual market price of rice. O di sige, sabihin natin, nakuha mo yung 20 bigas para lang doon sa, i-confine natin sa 20 bigas na sinabi niya. Well, nagawa mo rin naman talaga. But, does it really reflect kung ano yung economy natin in terms of the price of rice? Yung actual na mga tao na bumibili talaga ng mahirap talaga. Sumasakit ulo ko pagka iniisip ko.
Sakto talaga, Mayor, because I think what the public want is to see this price, the 20 pesos, dyan sa tindahan. No? Not through Kadiwa stores or through specific locations.
Hindi kasi, if you really want to subsidize yung bigas, just give it to them for free. Kasi may pera naman talaga. Pero dapat selected na doon kailangan kung sino yung nangangailangan talaga. Ilibre mo na lang yan. But the actual market price, di mo talaga ma-change yan unless you improve the economy. Diba? So how do you improve the economy? Infrastructure. Magsisimula ka talaga dyan so that people can move around, comfortably and freely. So magkakaroon ng economic stimulation. Diba? So, businesses will put up, magkakaroon ng employment, then,
people will earn.
Di ba? Magkakaroon ng pera yung tao. So, pag may pera yung tao, makakabili sila ng bigas, then, so ngayon, pag may demand, ang tanong dyan, may supply ba? Ang trabaho ng, for example, DA, sabihin mo, how can we, kung ako presidente, how can we lower that? So we need to have supply. The only way you can bring down the price is to have enough supply higher than the demand. Ganun mo makukuha yung 20 pesos na bigas. So hindi yung bibili ka ng bigas from somewhere using the government's money, then turn it into a program, tapos sasabihin mo 20 pesos yan na bigas. That's different from the actual market price.
And it's not sustainable, Mayor.
I do not know. Hindi ko naman alam. Sobrang laki ng gobyerno natin. If you really just focus on that and spend all the money just to provide
The 20 pesos.
20 peso per kilo rice, I do not know kung sustainable ba siya. But for sure, resources and money is scarce. Hindi yan infinite resource. So, may masasakripisyo ka talaga dyan. You have to get a portion of the budget from somewhere else to, gagawin mo yung programa na yan. So, ano yan kailangan mong may masakripisyo ka talaga dyan ang department. Ito, walang budget mo na ngayon kasi ilalagay ko sa food terminal ba? Yung nila?
The kwento pala dito, Mayor, is si Food Terminal Inc., which is a GOCC, no? Sila ang nag-subsidize. Tag 29 pesos per kilo talaga yung bigas, but sinubsidize nila yung 9 para 20 na lang na ibenta nila. So, gumastos tayo. So, ayun nga, tama nga sabi mo, it's a subsidy.
Yeah. Nagbayad nun, tao pa rin.
Tao pa din, correct. Tax pa din yun.
Di ba yung kasi kung gusto mo talaga, sige, kung presidente ka, sabi mo, agriculture from the very start, siya yung nag-upo na
Correct.
as
Parang OIC. Acting.
OIC sa Department of Agriculture. Eh di sana, naglagay ka ng nagpagawa ka ng maraming palayan dyan, then, you tell the farmers to magtanim ng so that may supply tayo. Pag marami tayong supply ng bigas, more than the demand, then bababa yung presyo ng bigas. Pero yan, it's subsidy ng government yan. Iba yun. That's a different thing. Sinabi niya lang yun para masabi niya, nagawa namin yung But, bakit? Kanina, kayo dyan, yung nangikinig ngayon, nung pumunta kayo ng palengke kanina or nung Sunday, bakit? 20 pesos ba yung bigas na nabili niyo per kilo? Diba?
Correct.
Optics lang yan. Lagi naman ganun. Sineset up ka talaga. Isi-set up ka talaga lagi nitong administrasyon na to.
Yet, the Philippines remains to be the world's largest importer of rice. May this year, there's an article, Mayor, last May, just this year, no? Saying that the Philippines remains to be the world's largest rice importer.
Tingnan mo yung mga price sa picture.
57, 54, 56. Baka natabunan yung 20.
'Di ba? Kasi yan naman lahat ng prices na yan. Pag i-subsidize ng gobyerno, pwede naman nila gawing 20 yan.
Right.
'Di ba? So why don't you? Sige, I'll give you a suggestion. Kung gusto mo talaga mangyari 'yon ng mga tao, I'll help you this time, BBM. Subsidize mo lahat ng presyo ng bigas na maging 20 yan. Kahit kuhako ba yan, o ano ba yan. Then people will believe you. Pero gagawa ka lang ng programa for a short period of time.
One day.
Isang araw lang na binenta ka na 20 pesos per kilo na rice. Hindi yun yung... It's a program. It's a subsidy. Subsidized program yan siya na
Which at the end of the day is still paid by the people.
Taxes pa rin ng tao yung nagbayad niyan sa subsidy na yan. Kasi galing sa buwis yan. Inuulol mo yung mga tao Di naman nila inuulol. Kasi alam naman ng mga tao talaga na wala yan.
Inuulol nila sarili nila.
Tapos sinabi mo, kaya naman pala natin for one day. For one day, kaya nila. Sige.
Di niya kasi specify nung campaign.
Fairness to the diba?
Na saan, paano magiging 20 kilo, basta kay 20 per kilo.
Gusto ko lang sabihin talaga, iba yung programa, tapos iba yung mararamdaman talaga na tao na pagpasok mo sa palengke, any market na may clear na policy yung government that rice prices hanggang 20 pesos lang talaga yan. It should not go above 20 pesos. So that's the time na mararamdaman ng mga tao na naging 20 pesos talaga yung bigas per kilo. Alam mo yung nakita ko lang dyan na butthurt talaga sila sa 20 pesos na bigas. Akala niya kasi na parang sinisiraan siya dyan. Hindi naman talaga because you cannot really do it. It will take, I think, more than a 6-year term ng presidente because yun na nga, agricultural, dapat naman talaga supposedly tayo na country and why haven't you empowered the farmers dito sa sarili nating lupa sa Pilipinas enough na makapag-supply sila ng bigas. So, nandun yun dapat. Hindi yung gagawa ka ng programa just to say na nakapagbenta ka ng 20 pesos na bigas. Mahirap yun.
Right. Okay. Moving on to our next topic, Hannah, regarding the 2026 budget, may warning siya to the people listening to him that day.
Yes, Mayor. So regarding the 2026 national budget, sabi ni Marcos Jr., isasaulig niya ang any proposed general appropriations bill na hindi alinsunod sa National Expenditure Program, which should have been the opportunity sana para mabigyang linaw niya ang nangyari sa 2025 budget at kung ano ang ginawa niya tungkol dito. But he was not able to talk about the 2025 budget. Instead, he talked about the 2026.
May nakita akong comment, I cannot remember who said this, but pag binitaw niya yan, yung budget na yan, then they will reenact the 2025 budget na nung pagkapanalo ni Ping Lacson, sinabi niya yung 2025, tama ba ako?
Ping Lacson said it.
2025 budget is the most corrupt budget in Philippine history. Something like that. Bagong Pilipinas to si Ping Lacson, di ba?
Yes. Yun nga yun eh. He was already running for under the Bagong Pilipinas.
Siya na nagsabi most corrupt national budget. So pag na-veto ni 2025, ni Bongbong Marcos yung 2026 na proposed budget, babalik tayo sa 2025, the most corrupt national budget. So, ang mangyayari niyan, standing ovation na naman yung mga congressman, di ba? Okay? Di ba nakita niyo how it is, di ba? So, ang optics niyan, he would appear to be a strong president kasi i-veto niya yung 2026 para bumalik doon sa 2025 na most corrupt national budget. Kaya magpapalakpakan talaga yung mga congressman na yan. Busog na naman. Basta,
So, tingnan natin kung talagang anong maghihitakbo ng budget deliberations. So, Hannah, one more point from the SONA highlights.
Yes, he also mentioned, Marcos Jr. also mentioned, Mayor, about the dumadami na daw ang mga tumataas ang timbang mula 20 years old pataas. Kaya kailangan daw ng active lifestyle. So para ma-achieve ito, kailangan palawakin ang mga paliga, zumba, fun run, fun walk. At tinahasal din niya ang mga LGU mayor na buksan at gawing maaliwalas ang mga parks at plaza park para makapag-ensayo ang mga Filipino. And he also mentioned, Mayor, na mapapatupad ng car-free Sundays. He also suggested that to the LGUs to enact car-free Sundays, which, by the way, we are also doing here in Davao City since last year. So, what are your thoughts about his
actually, hindi naman tayo una dyan. I think, Pasig yata ang una. Makati, Pasig, and some other LGUs do that already. So, okay naman. Tinakil niya yung health. Tama naman yung sinabi niya na to take care of your health kasi nga, yung pera ng PhilHealth, kinuha na nila. Di ba? Diba? So, wag kayong magkasakit kasi wala ng pera yung PhilHealth. So, yun. That's how I interpret it. Pero, alam mo yun, parang, di ba, nagagawa na ng mga LGU yun. Ginagawa ng Davao, hindi tayo yung first. Nakita natin yun sa ibang mga LGU. Makati, Pasig, ginawa natin because I think it's good. Tama naman yun. Pero, kaya nga, mag-ingat talaga yung mga Pilipino ngayon kasi walang budget ang PhilHealth. So, I don't know, maybe gusto niya lang gayahin yung mga sinasabi ko dito sa Davao.
Pero he said during his SONA, Mayor, na zero billing na daw ang mga ospital. I think he also highlighted that.
Parang 3-minute response lang yan ni Torre, promise. Zero billing. Yan. Wala yan. Zero billing, then when? Kailan?
Pareha lang sa 20 pesos na bigas, Mayor, no? You have to question, the people actually feel that.
Well, if mangyari, well and good, no? That's
Oh, wala naman problema talaga yung mga sinasabi niya. Pero alam nyo, since nung pagsimula talaga ng termino nito, wala naman talaga siyang natupad. Ano ba natupad niya? Sige nga, mag-isip tayong lahat. Tulungan niyo ako.
natupad ang pangarap niya makabalik ng Amerika, Mayor.
Di ba, pangarap niya ba yun?
Sila, di ba, naban na sila at some point. Di na sila kalupad ng Amerika because of their cases.
But I think more than anything else, sa lahat ng statements na sinabi ni Marcos Jr. in his SOLA, Mayor, Sir Harbs, I think the one that I agree with the most talaga is yung guni-guni. That is the banner of his administration, I think. Madaming guni-guni.
Referring to projects?
Yes.
Oh.
Anyway.
Speechless si Mayor.
Alam mo yun, yung very, parang nakakahiya.
Draining.
Draining masyado sa na tao. Draining ba? Yung makikinig ka, ano to? Bakit mo kami inuuto ng harap-harapan? Bakit mo kayang gawin yan? Alam mo yun? And we know you've never delivered anything. Tapos ngayon, gagawin mo. The next year, may SONA na naman siya. Isipin mo yun, tapos it will be the same thing again. Pero wala yan. Tingin ko si Marcos kasi, ang gusto niyan, maging presidente lang to reclaim what they think is his birthright. Kasi diktador yung tatay niya. Then makaupo sila sa, sa the highest position in the country. Yan lang ang gusto niyan. Walang iba. But in terms of how he visualizes the country, wala siya diyan. Wala siyang mga forecast, wala siyang mga real objectives na gustong mangyari talaga. Yung sa kanya lang nandyan, pag presidente na siya, bahala na kayo lahat. And he serves the oligarchs, the political dynasties. Yun naman talaga. Yun yung gusto niyang And ito naman, oligarchs and the political dynasties, ang gagawin talaga nan is to increase the wealth gap so that you can exploit the people below. So kaya masaya talaga yung mga oligarko at saka niyan.
They were all in attendance, complete attendance with very big smiles during the SONA.
Kaya nga, palakpak talaga yan. Kasi, sarap
Finally!
sana ba?
Finally! Our guy. Mama.
Ito yata yung pinakamagandang time maging congressman ngayon, panahon na ito.
Mayor, I'll move to another topic after SONA. So, that's the last discussion, Mayor, on the SONA topic. Right now, Mayor, daanan lang natin itong pagbubukas nga ng bagong Kongreso at bagong Senate, Mayor, for the part of the Senate. Si Senate President Chis Escudero retained his post, no? But nagkaroon ng, I think, some konting balasahan sa committee chairmanship. Ito yung mga pinag-usapan, Mayor, na movement sa Senate because during their first session, si Bam at si Kiko officially joined the majority, leaving Senator Hintivero sa minority. And also pinag-usapan because Senator Rodante Marcoleta nakuha niya yung Blue Ribbon Committee ng a powerful committee dyan sa Senate, Mayor. So, what do you think will be, may nakikita ka bang projection, Mayor, sa magiging dynamics nitong bagong Senate Plus? Nandyan pa yung Duterte block na binubuo nila ngayon, Mayor.
Tingin ko, si Bam at saka si Kiko kasi, pwede sila maging running mates for the 2028 election kasi Aquino si Bam eh. Si Risa Ontiveros kasi nag-express kaagad siya na ready siya maging president. And pareho silang LP, di ba?
LP, yes.
Pareho silang LP. So nilalaglag nila si Risa Ontiveros. That's how I see it. Hindi ko alam kung ano talaga. Pero, syempre, Aquino is an Aquino. And historically, dito sa Pilipinas, pag may apelyido kang naging presidente before, like Marcos, who else? Macapagal Arroyo and Aquino. So they think Bam Aquino would be a better bid for the 2028 elections along with Kiko Pangilinan. So nilalaglag nila si Risa Ontiveros kasi ambisyosa din kasi ito. Kasi sinabi niya na nga, di ba, na ready siya maging presidente. So may dynamics yan within the political party. Bakit ikaw? Di ba? Sino ka? Si Risa Ontiveros na. Yun. Tingin ko, ganun yun. Nilalaglag nila. Tapos, pag, ano bang nangyari dun? After. Tapos lumabas yung, di ba? Yung may...
Yung video?
Yeah, yung whistleblower.
Yung whistleblower na...
ng KOJC.
Yes. Allegedly, binayaran lang daw siya.
Na ini-implicate niya si
Risa.
Risa Ontiveros. So, I think infighting yan. Tingin ko infighting yan within the political party. Kasi nga medyo gusto talaga maging presidente si Risa Ontiveros. So ngayon, syempre, kung LP, Aquino talaga yan. So bakit lahat diyan ng mga nasa loob niyan kung pipili siguro mas pipiliin nila Aquino kaysa kay Risa Ontiveros. Kaya naiwan doon si
minority. That's a very good
tingin ko lang.
that's a refreshing point of view also, Mayor.
Tapos yung KOJC, tingin ko infighting yan. Tapos sinisisi, kami na naman. Di ba? Bakit? Tanungin mo yung mga kasama mo, baka sila lang gumawa niyan.
Sure, that's a very interesting setup there, Mayor. In fact, they got committee chairmanship. Nagkaroon na si Bam is now chair of the Committee on Education and then Kiko, Committee on Agriculture. So yun nga. Ito, Mayor. Senator Rodante Marcoleta, chair ng Blue Ribbon Committee. And this committee nag-handle ng mga investigations on public officials. Marami ang natuwa. At,
pero, okay naman yun. Pero, we'll have to wait kung ano talaga yung movements na or actions talaga na, or direction talaga ni Senator Marcoleta. But of course, since he is an ally, masaya tayo dyan. And we congratulate him for that. So I hope na he will gagamitin niya yan to, just hindi naman kailangan talaga to na para diinan yung mga para patas lang. Para ma-handle lang ng maayos talaga yung committee. And si Marcoleta is a very straight person. I have seen him a couple of times already, met him a couple of times already, talked to him. Maayos naman siya sa mga interactions namin. So, hindi abusado na tao na
Actually, Mayor, ang pinag-usapan talaga ng mga netizens, Mayor, itong gulong ng palad ba, the cycle here, because when Congressman Marcoleta was still Congressman, di ba, Mayor, pinagtulungan siya doon sa Quadcom committee. And now, he became a senator and he chairs the Blue Ribbon. So, yung mga tao parang from pag-akyat ni Marcoleta, his journey to get that committee. And abangan natin, Mayor, how he will perform si Senator Marcoleta as chair of that Blue Ribbon Committee. Nasa ka, Marcoleta, ang huling halakak. Yan ang sinasabi nila. So, we'll see, Mayor, ano magiging takbo ng Senate, itong 20th Congress na Senate in the coming days. Lipat naman tayo sa House of the Representatives, Hana.
Dito naman tayo sa House, Mayor. May sarili din silang eksena na nangyayari. So, the House of Representatives Mayor Martin Romualdez remains as the Speaker of the House and presidential son, Sandro Marcos, is now the majority floor leader. But BBM allies, specifically Navotas Representative Toby Chanco, Bacolod Representative Albi Benitez, and Cebu Representative Duke Frasco, did not vote for Romualdez. They abstained. So si Chanco sabi niya it's because of the 2025 budget. Hindi niya kayang suportahan ang liderato ng House because of the budget. Si Benitez naman sabi niya he could not stand behind a leader who pulls down PBBM. And while Frasco, he said that he wants to restore public trust. So what are your thoughts on this, Mayor?
Who's the other guy? Who's the last guy?
Duke Frasco.
Frasco, Duke Frasco.
Wala yan. Negosyo lang nila yan. Nag-aagawan lang yan ng negosyo. Pera lang yan. Wala yan. Hindi lang napagbigyan ni Martin Romualdez, di nabigay ni Martin Romualdez yung mga gusto nila. So siguro, hindi mapagsabihan ni BBM ito si Romualdez. So kaya, nagkaroon na sila ng faction. Wala yan. Ano lang yan. Wala naman silang... Yung statement nila, hindi naman on a particular issue talaga kasi. Di ba? Yung general na 2025 budget, wala din naman talagang kwenta yun. Ano pa yung isa? Kay Benitez?
He does not want to support someone who pulls down.
Wala. It's a general statement, di ba? Wala. Hindi talaga particular. Ano ba talaga yung interest nila? Bakit may ano sila?
For Chanco, Mayor, he said something about Romualdez, Mayor. That's why mas uminit yung bangayan nila. Because Chanco said that he accused Romualdez na siya ang nagkocontrol ng mga benefits like AIX, AKAP, DOPAD, and MAIP. So he said the Speaker's office must...
Yeah, that's why I told you earlier, yung pork barrel yan. Pork barrel yan. Kontrolado kasi ni Martin Romualdez. And siya yung nagbibigay sa mga, if you remember pork barrel, yan yun. Yan yung sinasabi ni Toby Chanco. Oh, see? It blatantly becomes the Speaker's pork barrel. Nakalagay. Tama. Yun yung sinasabi ko. It used to be the pork barrel. Ngayon, AIX, AKAP, TUPAD, MAIP. Yan. Iniba lang nila yung pangalan.
You will have to beg.
Oh, so that's why, kaya nga, yun yung specific yan, medyo siguro si Toby Chanco, hindi siya sang-ayon on how, it's being allocated sa mga congressman. I think hindi beneficial for maybe, or siguro may mga binibigyan si Martin Romualdez na ayaw bigyan nitong Toby Chanco, ayaw bigyan ni Benitez, ayaw bigyan ni Frasco. Kasi after nung midterm elections, lumabas na itong mga to na mga problema na So meaning, may problema may mali sa paningin nila may mali si Martin Romualdez na sa allocation ng pork barrel.
And by the way, si Toby Chanco was the campaign manager of the Bagong Pilipinas senatorial slate back then.
Or tingin ko, pwede rin gusto mag-speaker na itong mga to. Alam mo yun, may mga sariling ambisyon kasi yan It's all about their own interests. Kung ano yung interests ko, hindi ko makukuha, then, syempre, magagalit ako. And since it's the legislative, dyan dumadaan yung pera, kaya nag-aaway talaga. So, yan lang naman talaga yan. Pera lang yan. Promise. Pera lang talaga yan, pinag-aawayan ng mga yan. It's either pera or policies that can favor their, businesses sa mga lugar nila, ganun. Or pwede naman ganito kasi, kunwari, ako congressman, kunwari, galit ako sa'yo, Romualdez, ganito, ganun. O sige, para tumahimik ka, eto na, bibigyan na kita. Diba? So, tingin ko, nag-ano lang yan, naglangi sa Tagalog?
Nagpakipot.
Nagpapakipot lang para makatanggap pa ng more. So, I think they want more. They have things that they want para mabigay ni Romualdez sa kanila. So, tama yun. At ang administration na ito, sa kanila din naman talaga. So, nagpapakipot.
Tama, no? So yun nga, marami ang nagulat because they're all allied with the president but nagkabangayan, and we'll see sa mga susunod na araw kung saan nahantong yung mga yung bangayan na magkabilang kampo. For all we know, by next week, friends na naman yan. No? So, huwag natin masyadong estresan.
Doon tayo sa
Update on the impeachment.
The Supreme Court finally declared and ruled their decision was the impeachment complaint against Vice President Sara Duterte was unconstitutional. Once and for all, Mayor, was unconstitutional. What are your thoughts on this?
Hindi ko alam. Kasi nilalabanan pa rin nila yung Hindi okay naman. O di sige, yan yung opinion ng Congress. Ito rin yung opinion ng ng courts. So, bahala kayo. Bahala kayo sa buhay niyo. Sinabihan na nga di ba? Tapos ayaw pa rin.
Oy, never say die sila ha. Apparently, they will file for motion.
Dapat tapos na yun Di ba? Kasi
Pinush
nga,
nila.
pag hindi nasagot ng legislatura, ipapasa mo doon sa judiciary. Di ba?
Korte, Supreme Court.
Sa Supreme Court. Papasa mo yun para sila yung sasagot. Kasi di ba? Technically, they know how it goes because nagbabasa ng libro yan, lahat. Ayaw nilang tanggapin, wala ka na magagawa doon. Ibig sabihin, natalo na kayo. Ayaw nilang tanggapin. Yun.
Mag-file pa sila ng motion for reconsideration, apparently. I'll see. But for the
I don't know. Pwede ka pa ba mag-MR?
Hindi ko nga alam. Saan mo ipapasa yun? I don't know.
So, anong court is higher than the Supreme Court?
Mali na. So,
It's a bit disrespectful, no, if you really think about it.
I don't know how, kasi wala tayong comment from the from the Supreme Court. Let them answer that kung ano yung move na again ng Congress. So, yung Supreme Court talaga magsasabi na it's a technical matter. Only lawyers know that.
True. We'll see. We'll see if they'll really file the motion. But for the part of the Senate, in an interview, Senate President Escudero said they respect the decision and they will no longer convene the impeachment court. But although other senators like Risa, sinasabi nila they will still haharangin nila, Mayor, any motion to terminate the impeachment proceeding. So, abangan.
Hindi, dapat kasi tapos na yun Hanggang doon na yun, dulo na yan
Supreme Court. Or baka may korte pa
because yung judiciary, yung mga korte, sila yung nag-i-interpret ng law. Kasi kung hindi nyo naiintindihan yung mga ginagawa nyo dyan, nag-aaway-away kayo, kunwari tulad ng impeachment, ipapasa nyo sa mga korte para sila mag-interpret ng law kung ano nakasulat sa batas, yun yung decision nila based on what's written in the law. So ngayon, anong gusto nyo? Amendahan nyo yung batas? Kasi hindi sumang-ayon sa gusto nyo. So, anong purpose ng Supreme Court ngayon? 'Di ba? So, it only shows that this issue, the impeachment of the Vice President, is purely political.
Tama. Abangan.
In the House naman, Romualdez also said, regarding the impeachment, Mayor, he said that the power to initiate impeachment is the exclusive domain of the House of Representatives. It is neither granted nor guided by any outside institution.
Tama naman. Kasi may separation of, there are 3 branches of government. May separation of powers yan. So, sige, hayaan mo siya sabihin na siya, but that statement is political. Diba? Yung decision ng korte, that's technical. Diba? That's objective. Ang opinion ng Congress is subjective to them. Yung opinion ng korte, objective yan. Walang, ano ba sabi ng Supreme Court? Ito yung sinabi ni Senior Associate Justice of the Supreme Court, Marvick Leonen. It is not our duty to favor any political result. Ours is to ensure that politics are framed within the rule of just law. So yun na yung sinasabi ko, Congress kasi, they are political personalities. They're elected officials. Politics yan. They have their interests. And, ito kasing Supreme Court, objective ito. Objective ito. Subjective yung Congress. Ayaw nila si VP dito sa Supreme Court, either gusto namin or ayaw namin si VP, we have to follow the law. Ganun yun. Ayaw lang tanggapin ng
House.
Malinaw naman talaga yan, sinabi ni Leonen.
And the vote was unanimous, 13-0.
Yes. Supreme Court and bank. And also, Mayor, I think by their logic, since a lot of people has also mentioned the separation of powers, exclusive domain of the Congress, by that logic, Mayor, wouldn't you agree na it also goes the same for the Supreme Court, since they have also the power to question the constitutional intricacies of the legal proceedings ng impeachment. Since Congress, it's their job to think about the substance of the impeachment proceedings, the court naman is primarily a legal and constitutional procedure yung inaatupag nila. So he also said, Mayor, Justice Leonen also mentioned in his in the decision that the court has the duty to construe the process mandated in the Constitution. So it was procedural. The problem was procedural, of course.
Yeah. Because may reference sila and that is the Constitution. So they have to follow it. Kasi hindi sila magiging justices pag hindi nila sinunod yun. Trabaho nila yan. Ang trabaho ng Congress, ipitin yung kalaban nila. Di ba? Yan yung difference eh. Pero kasi pag yung mga matters kasi talaga na hindi ma-resolve sa mga sa politics, dinadala yan sa korte. Tapos pag sumagot na yung korte, tapos na yun. Tapos na yun. Di nang talaga nila matanggap kasi nga, they do not want na mawala itong issue na to about the impeachment kasi they're weaponizing it against Vice President Duterte.
True.
It's propaganda. Ayaw nila na mamatay or mawala yung propaganda nila, yung narrative nila. Pero ayan. Tatawa ka na lang eh. Pwede bang wala ba naman talagang nakapagsabi dyan, 4 billion yung confidential funds ng presidente? As against to the 125 million? Bakit hindi natin, okay. So, why not talk about the 4 billion confidential funds of Bongbong Marcos now? Since tapos na yung kay, VP. And sa simula pa lang, di ba, nagsabi na yung COA eh.
There's a unmodified opinion already.
Oh. Wala na talaga yan from the very start. Wala na talaga yan.
Let's see kung saan nila i-file yung kanilang motion for reconsideration. But
Sa presidente, malamang.
Doon yan. Ay, alam mo, naalala ko lang, Mayor, gaya ng sinabi mo last episode. Dahil nga mamamatay itong impeachment, kaya pala push sila ng push dun sa ombudsman. Nag-retire na si Ombudsman Martires, ha? Maglalagay na sila ng bagong ombudsman in the coming days. So, baka na. Doon papunta ang palabas. Anyway, Mayor, that's the last topic. May gusto ka pa bang idagdag, Mayor, with regard to this discussion on the Senate, House, and the SONA?
Wala, masakit sa ulo talaga to.
Ang bigat ng discussion today.
Masakit sa ulo yung mga Kasi puro politika eh. Sayang yung oras lang talaga sa ano, yung mga ganong bagay. Tapos yung resources ng bansa, ginagamit nila sa politika. Yung budget, how they use the budget, the 2025 budget.
Hindi pinag-usapan sa SONA yun.
Paano nila kinukunan ng yung mga ibang departments ng pera just to use it as pork barrel. Yun. Sayang yung opportunities lost for nation building. You know, the resources lost and the opportunities that it could have opened up for the ordinary Filipino people na ginamit lang sa bigay-bigayan. Wala rin naman talagang I do not know kung transparent ba talaga yung
Pag-audit din yan, no?
pag-audit niyan, saan napunta talaga yung pera, paano siya inallocate, napunta ba talaga dun sa nangangailangan talaga, or baka ginamit lang sa mga key persons within the districts of those congressmen na pwede nilang magamit sa politika. It's buying votes talaga yung pork barrel niyan. Na yan.
Mayor, masingit ko lang dun sa sinabi mo na how na kinukunan nila ng budget itong mga departamento. Because last week, Mayor, si Tourism Secretary Frasco, naglabas din actually siya ng statement na align dyan, Mayor, kasi I think hindi siya na-mention sa SONA and criticize siya na nag-underperform yung kanyang ahensya, Mayor. And then she released a statement na in 2024, tinanggalan ng Congress yung budget nila for promotions ng tourism by 83%. From 1.2 billion, ginawang 200 million, Mayor, in 2024. Tapos sa 2025, ginawa pang 100 million na lang. So, ang kay Frasco doon is, tatanungin niya, gusto niya ibalik sa Congress yung tanong ngayon na tinaplasan yung budget ko. Tapos, hihingi kayo ng parang resulta. Questionin niyo ako sa performance ko. And gaya ng sinabi mo, Mayor, Department, kinatanggal yung budget at hindi natin alam saan ngayon ninaalok.
Sige, balikan natin yung sinabi ko earlier, ha? 'Di ba? Si Chanco, Benitez, and Frasco. Ano sinabi ko? Pera lang yan. Kinaltasan nila yung Department of Tourism. Asawa to ni Duke Frasco. Kaya sinabi ko, pera lang yung pinag-aawayan ng mga yan. O yan, di ba?
Correct.
Makikita niya naman yung pera lang. Pera lang yan. Pera lang yan.
Sana dumating. Anyway, wag sana tayong dumating sa punto na mag-away tayo sa pera. Sa dami ng pera.
Hindi, yan talaga, yung mga klase mga tao na mag-aaway talaga yan. Kasi yung pera, nauubos yan. Tapos kung paano mo allocate sa mga sa mga tao or sa mga congressman, may mag-aano talaga diyan na bakit akin kulang, sa kanya marami, ganun. May mga ganun talaga. So dapat technically yung magde-determine ng budget is dapat yung mga departments kasi sila yung may know-how. Sila yung may mga technical personnel para mag-assess kung ano yung kulang, ano kailangan ng bansa, ano yung kailangan nating improve, like the DA, DPWH, whatever. Sila yung nakakaalam ano yung dapat nating gawin para ma-improve natin yung quality of life ng mga Pilipino. And yet, ginawang pork barrel ni Martin Romualdez para hawak na yung mga congressman, para sa politika. So ngayon, hawak na yung mga congressman, marami siyang alay to rally against who?
VP.
Vice President Duterte. Kasi si Martin Romualdez naman, sigurado, may ambisyon yan ngayong 2028 para tumakbo ng So at least, ilan ba yung pumirma na to retain his
269?
speaker? Oh, may 269 votes na siya. Then kung sino yung mga tao ng mga 269 votes ng mga congressman na yan, they will use it, it's a political maneuver. It's a political maneuver. Na, gigunitan ng Congress, kwarta mo na. Ikaw may speaker. Maneuver ni mo ang speaker gusto kong influence kaya ikaw may murag ka ng mayor. Murag ikaw yung mayor diha sa appropriations, ingani buhata. Unsay ingon sa department, sagdi na sila. 'Di ba? Ano sinabi ng department ng DPWH, gagawa tayo tulay. Wag na yan, iayuda na yan. I-reallocate natin yan dito, iayuda yan. Wag na tayo magtayo ng tulay kasi midterm elections na. Aram na.
Good day to be a congressman. Anyway,
thank you very much, Mayor, for sharing your thoughts and joining us in the discussion dun sa mga topics natin, Mayor. Just before we end, we have a lot of netizen comments, Mayor, from the last episode. First, we have from Emma Melendres, 971. Let's make real issue surface. Booking na pattern na yung pang-smoke screen diversion tactic nila tuwing may pangyayaring gusto nilang pagtakpan. Nakakagalit na. This was another discussion on the smoke screen issue, Mayor, last week.
Ano yan? Hindi kasi, alam mo, saan tayo nahihirapan? Like I said earlier, yung mainstream media kasi hawak nila. And unfortunately, gullible kasi yung mga tao sa mainstream media. Gullible talaga kasi we're so used to it nandun tayo kumukuha ng information. And, Filipinos, still a lot of Filipinos don't, really, do not question talaga yung mainstream media. But, they have to understand that, these are not, absolute institutions that are impenetrable by external influence. Like I said, yung Speaker of the House, trillions of pera, and the administration, trillions of pesos ang hawak niyan. Money can, can buy, not all, but can buy you almost anything. And so yun yung problema. So that's why yung mga who's relying on alternative media, you just have to be vigilant. Express your opinion. Sabihin nyo yung pag-usapan natin yung mga issue talaga ng bansa. Wag yung mga asaran, wala yan. We have to move beyond that. We have to go beyond the usual
Show business.
Mga showbiz na mga
Speaking of showbiz, Mayor, masingit ko lang.
Baka may gusto ka lang sabihin pa regarding nga dito sa naging palabas ni General Torre last week.
Congratulations. Congrats. Ikaw na yung bagong pambansang kamao. Pinalitan mo na si Manny Pacquiao.
Mayor, since bago tayo natin tuluyang iwanan tong discussion natin, Mayor, singit ko lang, Mayor, kasi nga, your video, our video, Mayor, that we posted, wherein you challenged the condition that you've set, Mayor, dun nga sa hair follicle drug test, no? Nag-viral yun, Mayor, pinag-usapan, and wala namang sumagot, except may dalawang kongresista, Mayor, two members of the House of Representatives who actually responded to this challenge, particularly Congressman Kong Hun and Congressman Joel Chua. And ang sagot nila, Mayor, na dapat daw ang drug test simulan daw mismo sa City Hall.
Wala namang problema. In fact, yung binabaliktad nila na may mga nag-positive dito sa Davao, ako naman talaga nagpagawa nun. Tapos, gitwist ng media na may mga nahuli, ako nagpagawa nun. to ensure that the local government of Davao walang gumagamit dyan. Kasi tatrabaho tayo sa gobyerno. Tapos ito kasi hawak nila mainstream media, ginawa nilang sa kanila. In fact, ako ang nagpa-drug test noon sa mga tao na yun. Wala problema. Pero yung hair follicle test, hindi yan, it's reserved for the first family. Yung dalawang congressman na hindi naman kilala, wala namang, they are of no national interest. It's reserved for the first family. Kahit sino dyan sa mga anak ni Marcos, si Marcos, o sino ba dyan, si Romualdez, kayo, wala man kayo. Irrelevant naman yung mga tao na yan, mga congressman. Sila pa yung pumapalakpak na nagagalit pa kunwari si Marcos sa mga kickback daw sa gobyerno. Alam mo, totoo lang, nagpalakpakan yun lahat. Siyempre, palakpak sila. Galit tayo sa mga ano. Pero yung nakikita ko lang, pumalakpak sila kasi masayang-masaya sila. Si BBM yung presidente, nagagawa nila yung mga katarantaduhan nila.
Okay. Thank you, Emma. Next, Mayor, this is a comment on your statement regarding online gambling.
We have from Abigail. Like Singapore, entry levy in casinos for locals, which is expensive to discourage them if they want to gamble. Pero in the Philippines, Pogo naging Tigo, na ang malala pa dyan ay ang biktima ay mga Pilipino. What the F? Ha ha ha.
Ayun na nga, I already said that, di ba? Dapat dinidiscourage talaga ang gambling because it's very similar to any kind of vice, drugs, sigarilyo, liquor, gambling. It affects the family unit ba? Yung household. 'Di ba? Pag umuwi yung tao lasing na 'di ba, yung iba may domestic violence na nangyayari or the health will deteriorate. So yung breadwinner na they spend money on tapos wala ka pang PhilHealth ngayon. Sigarilyo, lung cancer, what else? Gambling. Instead na i-remit mo sa asawa mo para may pangpalengke kayo sa hahanapin mo pa yung one day
Income.
No, one day na programa ng NFA
bigas.
na 20 kilo na bigas, aabangan mo pa yon. Wala na kasi ginastos mo na sa sa gambling. So bisyo yan eh. So it has to be strictly regulated. Kaya nga may syntax yung yung sigarilyo and alcohol. Tama man yan. Tama man yung sinabi ni anong pangalan nun ni Abigail.
Abigail. Ito, Mayor, nag-comment siya dun sa foreign policy stand mo, Mayor, no? From Evelyn Ana Daguman Tangara. May social studies ginawa dito sa Japan. I think she's from Japan. Sa isang apartment. Inilibas lahat ng made in China sa loob. Ang natira, toothbrush, toothpaste at heater table.
Like I said nga na before you bago mo kasi may nagkakaroon ng xenophobia yung mga tao sa mga Chinese. But before you criticize them, wag muna kayo gumamit ng anything that's made in China. So, ayan, may social studies. Sana may reference ito, Ma'am Evelyn Ana Daguman Tangara. So, dapat, kung may reference talaga ito, or may study talaga, if this is real, we should bring this up. Diba? Para before, kasi marami naman din Filipino-Chinese. We're both Asians. Alam mo yun, iba yung conflict talaga ng dalawang superpowers. That's different. Foreign policy is different. But the people, that's providing us with cheap cell phones and everything, we cannot build our country kasi kung logistically, bibili ka ng kunwari lang, semento sa US, logistically, pagdating nito, magkano yan?
Kayo, mahal na.
Diba? Mahal. Pag galing China, mas mura. So, ano pipiliin mo? Cellphone. Pag galing China, mas mura. Galing US, mahal. Ano pipiliin mo? 'Di ba? Yun naman yung point talaga doon. Wag niyo isama yung what the country is trying to make our lives better, kasi yung foreign policy iba yan. It's a contest of two superpowers. Iba 'yun. Pwede tayo magalit dyan kung may ginagawa sila dyan sa West Philippine Sea or South China Sea na tinatawag nila. Pwede yan. But do not promote xenophobia, kasi maraming mga Filipino-Chinese na matagal na rin naman talaga sa history ng Pilipinas noon pa. They've been trading with us pre-Spanish colonial era. We've been trading with the Chinese noon pa, and they never invaded us. Ito lang kasi talaga, yung mga Americans, they want to point their guns at China. That's why inunakan na ng incheck dyan sa trade route nila papuntang Malacca Strait. Kasi may $800 billion worth of debt ang US sa China. So they need to negotiate with China. Ganon yun. So they want to encumber economic activity by putting military bases. Haharangin nila yan. Mahihirapan ng China. And then China will be forced to negotiate with the US. Iba yun. That's different. Pero yung mga Xiaomi, yung mga lahat-lahat ng mga ginagamit nyo, wag muna kayo magsalita, di ba? Kasi sabihin ko sa inyo, pati brief nyo, wala na yan. Tatanggal yan. So, I think itong yung social studies, pag nakita natin to, let's look at this. Let's discuss this on the show.
Oo. Ma'am Evelyn, baka may kopya ka ng studies. Thank you, ma'am, from Japan. And ito, comments on the juvenile justice mayor.
We have Boards Pogi Jr. Mayor sa Australia, meron silang separate children's court. Not sure how the process goes, pero tanan mga bata na adjust sila accountability if they ever commit crime like stealing or assault. Much more likely mga bigger crimes na.
Balik ko lang ako. Babalik ko lang yung sinabi ko na infrastructure yan na problema. Kaya nga, sinabi ko, wala namang problema talaga yung Juvenile Justice Act because, we want our, to protect the children, but it's not the right time kasi walang infrastructure. Kung meron sana yun, Australia tayo, kaya nila. 'Di ba? Nagawa nila. They employed people, nagtayo sila ng mga courts for that, and juvenile rehabilitation centers, everything. Ngayon, nagpasa ka ng batas dito na wala yan, na-exploit tuloy yung mga bata.
True. Dagdag ko lang, Mayor, actually, nag-comment din si Jojo. This kind of law should be passed on laban po Senator Robin Padilla kasi I have witness po na ginagamit ng mga magulang na binibenta ang mga anak, ginagawang bait, makatake advantage na ng kapwa-tao. They think like a syndicate kind of thinking. Sakto, doon pa din sa punto mo, Mayor. Na-exploit yung bata.
Tama talaga yung si Robin. Tama yung ginagawa niya.
We also have from Michelle. Yes, nakikinig talaga si Mayor Baste nung nag-aaral ng political science. Good job, Mayor Baste, sa explanation mo.
Hindi yan totoo.
Oy, best thesis na.
Best thesis for everyone's information.
Thanks, Michelle. From Antoinette Reposar Caldedero. Kakapanood ko sa iyo, Mayor, naging uyab na kita sa aking damgo. Ganahan ko kay wala na putol, biskag sige kong ubo. Hindi daw siya nagigising kahit ubo siya ng ubo sa panaginip daw, Mayor. Uyab na daw kaniya. Ma'am Antoinette.
Okay ra, kung nagkasinabot ta dito, magpakasal na ta sa imong damgo.
Next, ato comment to on the recent news that the buses you have procured, Mayor, through the LGU. The LGU has procured, arriving in September. From Pau Virgo, congratulations, Mayor Baste, and all concerns to realize this project. It will boost transpo business and our economy. God bless Davao and its constituents. So, ang kanang 10 buses that are arriving, since dili man gud release, hindi nire-release ang budget ng Davao City for the Davao Bus Project. So, tayo na lang gumastos kasi kailangan na talaga natin.
But actually, kung sa totoo lang, since 2022, kung talagang pinursu lang ng national government ang DOTR yung project, by 2027, nag-roll out na sana lahat ng mga bus dito sa... Tapos na yung roll out by 2027. Yun yung timeline eh. But yeah, because of politics, they do not want to help Davao City. They want to, make us look bad. Magawa. Kaya nga, yung sabi ko, ganung klaseng gobyerno tayo, they can sacrifice an entire, population within a territory, an LGU, para lang talaga na, I don't know, it's a bid for the national elections kasi taga dito si Vice President Inday Sara Duterte. So they don't want to see us succeed. Pero like I said, yung Davao talaga, we can stand on our own. Kahit man lang sobrang hirap talaga, we can do it. But not kasi yung pera ng bansa talaga is nasa national budget. So kailangan it's a DOTR talaga. It has to be approved by Congress.
Congress also.
Yeah.
True.
So hindi papalakpak yung Congress niyan kasi napunta sa atin, di ba?
Kaka-Mayor, kahit pag gustuhin man ng DOTR to fund it, if hindi fundan ng Congress, wala pa din.
Wala yan. Kasi dapat iayuda daw. Pambili nila ng boto na naman sa 2028.
But anyway, Davao City, we look forward to seeing this 10 buses soon. We shall offer free ride yan initially, during peak hours. Thanks, Mayor. Thanks, Pao. And ito, mga shout-out na Mayor, pag magpa-shoutout daw sila sa mga followers natin, Mayor.
Si Lids ako po si Basti. Shout out to you in Nueva Ecija. Ria K. Johnny from Kuwait and Sherwin Basul Gasulas. Gasulas family from Surigao City. Mabuhay mong tanan. Salamat kayo sa inyong suporta.
Meron pa tayong mga greetings? Yun, thank you very much to all our netizens na nag-comment at nakasubscribe at patuloy na tumututok sa ating podcast every week. Continue to share our episodes para sa mga hindi pa nakasubscribe sa ating page. And, Mayor, of course, gusto nating batiin ang lahat nating ating mga followers sa YouTube, Facebook. Sa Facebook, mayroon na tayong 167,000 followers. Mayor, happy 1-year anniversary, Mayor, sa ating podcast.
Karon?
July 10 pala, nalimutan natin.
Okay lang?
Isang taon na tayo, Mayor, sa ere. Maraming salamat sa lahat, Mayor. Baka may gusto kang anniversary message. Happy anniversary sa tuan tanan. But paminaw, you can just, if you have time, makinig lang kayo dito. I'll promise to give you objective opinions about what's happening, to our city, dito sa Davao, and to our country. I'll try my best not to be, subjective. Kasi ayoko naman ng ganun. Mas gusto ko yung nalalaman nyo yung kung ano talaga yung nangyayari. As much as possible, ayokong kulayan talaga yung mga sinasabi ko. Pero pag galit ako at somebody, galit talaga ako. That's different. But yung mga opinions ko, I try to, really make it as fair as possible. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. And congrats to everyone. Congrats to the team also. Happy 1 year. Outing? Saan daw outing?
Tama, salamat kayo sa inyo.
Right. Okay, Mayor, we have more greetings before we go to our closing statement.
Shout out to Senator Robin and Mariel Padilla na laging nanonood ng Basta Dabawenyo. Mabuhay po kayo. So tama lang na nagtagalog na ako, at least maintindihan niyo ako. Idol talaga kita kahit noon pa. Yung nanood ako ng Mista, doon idol, bata pa ako masyado noon hanggang ngayon. So sige, okay lang, mag-leave ka lang muna dyan sa PDP. Pero sana wag ka umalis. Atin ito, sa iyo ito. Ikaw ang president ko pa rin. Ako ang executive vice president mo sa PDP Laban. So, for the meantime, just do your thing. Naniniwala talaga ako sa iyo, Robin. tol. Si Robin kasi pag tol yan siya eh. Ako, mahiya naman ako kasi idol ko. Kaya senator talaga. Senator Robin Padilla. Mabuhay ka.
Thank you, Senator Robin and Ma'am Mariel. Isa pa, Mayor, shout out.
Hello and shout out diha sa Brisbane, Australia, Melanie Aliado, Dahili and family.
Next.
Salamat sa kanunay nga suporta, Inshira Kasilen. Hello and thank you for always watching and supporting Chara, Nina Marie Enrique. And belated happy birthday to Charlene Kibod Sanico. Proud Dabaweña in Quezon City. Stay fresh and healthy.
Stay fresh and healthy. Happy birthday.
So, napala ko ikuan.
Go ahead, Mayor.
I-greet, of course, gusto na ako pasalamatan ang nagabantay sa ko health, which is Dr. Miguel Baker sa Baker Medical Aesthetics. Thank you for your support and taking care of my health. And mabuhay ka.
Oy, thank you, Doc Miguel. And thank you sa lahat, no, bumate at nagpabate at patuloy na tumututok. Closing message, Mayor. Your message to our fellow Dabaweños and our fellow Filipinos for this episode.
Kuan lang, continue to fight for the country. Kung tingin nyo na do not lose hope. Huwag kayong mawawalan ng pag-asa. Kasi, I think, alam nyo na eh. Alam nyo na, you know what you want, what your dreams are for the country, ano yung mga aspirations nyo. And I think, pag tayo, basta nagkaisa lang tayo, nagkasundo lang tayo, makukuha natin yung mga gusto natin. At saka yung mga kailangang alisin or ayusin, magagawa natin yan. Basta remain active pagdating sa politika. Hindi ko sinasabi maging aktivista kayo. Basta active lang. Participate in discussions and analyze everything objectively. Wag kayo masyadong bias kahit naman sa amin, wag masyadong bias. You can have a mind of your own. Tapos isipin nyo na kung ano talaga yung what's good and what is the best para sa bansa natin. Walang problema. If you're a DDS, you can criticize me, whatever. It's okay. Let's help each other. Let's make this, it should be open.
Discussion.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Mayor. Hana, may pahabol pala si Hana, Mayor.
Of course, we have to end it with the kinasing-kasing ng mga pangutana, Mayor, no?
Okay.
Last questions para light ang atong ending. So I have 3 questions here, Mayor.
Right, 3.
Paspas lang eh. First question. If someone wrote a book about your life right now, what would the title be?
Ayaw na lang.
Ano na title, Mayor? Yan ang title. Ayaw na lang. Sir Ars, ang title?
Pwede rapot.
Ako kay, saba, Kuyopot. Two words. Next question. What is more important to you, being respected or being understood?
Being respected or being understood. I don't think you'd be understood if you're not being respected. So I think that dapat magkasama yung dalawa eh. So yeah, that's my answer.
I agree with the Mayor.
I agree too. You have to be yun. Pero being respected, I think, for me, is enough. You don't have to understand me. You just have to respect. Aray, lahi pa. Next, last question, Mayor. If you could only teach one value to Dabaweños, what would it be and why?
Disiplina.
16 na. Perhaps.
Agree na po ako, pero forgiveness.
Okay, the value of learning. Education, gano'n. Okay. Marata Mayor, thank you so much for answering our heart-to-heart questions. Thank you so much din sa ating mga viewers. Continue to follow and tune in our podcast. And don't forget to, of course, subscribe so you'll always be updated in our future episodes.
Tawa. Naday ko di ma-forgive, oy. So, di ko forgiveness.
Kasi kung di ma-forgive.
Bombo. Anyway, maraming salamat po muli sa lahat ng tumutok sa ating episode today, lalo na po sa ating mga kababayang OFWs. Mayor, greetings to your family, Mayor.
Kung mama, kung papa, kung kuya, kung ate, si Kitty, kung mga anak. Alright.
Alright, thank you, Mayor. Basta
Ako mga igagaw. Sa ba diha? Ako lolo, lola.
Duterte family. Alright, Pilipinas, magsama-sama po tayo muli next week sa bago na namang episode ng Basta Dabawenyo. Ako po si Harvey Lantigse.
Ug ako si Hana May H. Picsho, ang disiplinadong Dabawenyo, mahadlukon sa Ginoo. Ang disiplinadong Dabawenyo, respeto sa balaod ug sa isim katao.
Matinud-anon, mahigugmaon ug maisog. Basta Dabawenyo.